Kia ora, boys and girls. Today I want to read to you The Garden of Hope, and it's by Isabel, Otter and Katie Rewse. It's a good book to read in springtime. Things had changed since Mum had gone. The house was untidy. Maya, Dad and Pip were a bit of a mess. And the garden had become wild and overgrown. And there's Dad and Maya, and maybe that's Pip. You can't see them very well, but there they are, in the doorway. Dad was trying his best, but sometimes it was hard to remember all the things that needed doing. Pip's the dog, by the way. See? There's Pip. Maya sometimes felt lonely, but luckily she had Pip. Of course, there were moments when it was impossible not to miss Mum. When Maya felt sad, Dad was always there for a bear hug. He was a great storyteller, and he told Maya tales of magic and adventures in faraway lands. She particularly enjoyed the stories when Dad wove her and Pip into the plot as brave characters. She's got a bear there as well. One afternoon, Maya was feeling sad and a little anxious. Dad said it was time for a story. This one was going to be about Mum. Maya stopped biting her nails and looked up. Dad hardly ever told stories about Mum. You know your mother used to worry about things too, don't you, Maya? Said Dad. Whenever she felt upset, she would go outside, plant some seeds and wait for them to grow into something new and beautiful. Your mum knew that by the time the seeds had grown, those worries would have faded away. She called them her seeds of hope. On the table, there were several packets of seeds. Dad and Maya looked at the overgrown garden and shared a smile. Maya started in the potting shed. It was full of dust and cobwebs, but she soon found what she needed: gardening gloves. Next, she began to pull out the weeds. That's usually my job when I have a gardening job. The garden had been unloved for a long time, and the weeds had tangled themselves over everything. At last the ground was ready. It was time to plant the first seed. Maya chose the packet with a bright sunflower on the front. It was Mum's favourite flower. As she dug a hole, Maya thought about Dad's story. She dropped the first seed in, closed her eyes and hoped. There she is. Some days are harder than others for Maya, but thinking about the garden made her feel calm. When the first small green shoot appeared, Maya felt a rush of happiness. The seed had become something new and beautiful. Sometimes Pip tried to help in his own way, and look at those muddy paw prints. Luckily, holes could always be filled in again. But look what that naughty Pip's got in his paws. He's chewing somebody's slipper. Sometimes Dad felt angry or upset, and then he joined Maya in the garden and they planted seeds together. Buds were starting to appear on some of the plants. Maya spent all her spare time outside, rain or shine, nurturing her garden. There they are. And look what that naughty Pip's doing. He's rolling in the dirt. In turn, the garden repaid Maya's love for making her feel lighter and happier than she'd felt in a very long time. Maya now had some fully grown plants. Look at them. Wow! As well as seedlings. The flowers began to bloom, and this attracted new visitors. First came the bees and the butterflies. Then came ladybirds, dragonflies, and beetles. Wow. Birds arrived, and with them voles and hedgehogs. Don't have voles in New Zealand. Wonder what country they're in. Finally came rabbits. Well, we have some of those. Squirrels, we don't have those. Foxes, no foxes. The garden was humming, buzzing, hopping, and bursting with life. Maya had transformed the garden into a place of beauty once more. Mum had been right. Maya had forgotten the worries she had planted with the seeds. The garden had carried them all away. Things have changed since Mum had been gone. The house was still untidy. Maya, Dad and Pip were still rather a mess. But something felt different. For the first time in a long while, there was hope. Maya and Dad looked out of their beautiful garden and shared a smile. Like that. Hope. It's a big word. It sort of creeps up on you sometimes, hope. But sometimes with hope you have to go out and plant it. Yeah, you've got to plant some seeds. A little bit of kindness, a little bit of gentleness, a little bit of colour. And suddenly hope starts to blossom. Right under your nose. And bring other things with it too. You have a great week. Blessings to you.